Yo, what's up? I'm making a quick video. Still calling this out. See, a lot of these agents that they was in, and they're not really in, man. Them folks, like black people, who've been trying to warn these cats out here how the status quo really get down, but don't nobody want to listen to us. People are too busy trying to assimilate and trying to become adjacent. But hey, these cats out here showing y'all how they really feel, and it's not a surprise. They've been doing this since the pandemic, but y'all chose to ignore it and pointing your fingers at us, and we ain't even really doing anything like that to y'all. Look at this.
You guys are nuts.
Yo, you're fucked.
Go get some more fake lashes, you dirty bitch. You're not a natural cop because you're ugly as fuck.
Yo, keep it going. Keep it going.
Keep it going for
Yeah,
TikTok.
have a good night.
Go fuck you.
Have a good night.
All you Asian bitches
Have a good
love
night.
TikTok because you have no
Have a good night. Later. Yo, say hi to TikTok back.
Look at that, bro. And this actually is going according to my prediction. I'm telling people that these Karens and these Kevins out here, they're gonna start showing a lot of these Asians how they really feel, including these other ethnic groups. I called out the fact that ever since they got rid of that whole abortion thing, or at least limited on that abortion thing, now people letting their nuts hang out. People letting their nuts hang. Remember when that lady said securing white life and stuff like that? It's like, damn, you started flexing already. And they were trying to say, oh, she spoke out of turn. No, she spoke how she felt. Look at those Ukrainians, the Afghans. At first, they was gonna make an Afghans a buffer class and probably classify them as white. But all that changed when that war happened, the Russian and Ukraine war. It started bringing the Ukrainians down here, and they kind of replaced the Afghans. They took the Afghans out of those apartments and stuff like that, and they put the Ukrainians in there, and they're gonna use the Ukrainians to add for numbers because of that genotype is similar to theirs. Like they're basically Aryan, and then now they're slowing down on their abortion thing so they can get more quote unquote white life to be born. You know what I'm saying? Because their birth rate is low. So now that the abortion thing is pretty much limited, maybe they can get their birth rate up, and then they getting these Ukrainians and stuff down here to add into their numbers. So now people are just letting their nuts hang. They're gonna start showing people how they really feel. And especially this whole thing with the affirmative action being disbanded or potentially being disbanded from college administration. Oh yeah, people really gonna start letting their nuts hang. They're really gonna start showing people how they feel. Cause you guys gotta be a fool if you think that that whole affirmative action thing is only gonna be towards college administration. I'm just gonna let you cats know, man. They're gonna try to be slick and then put that in the job force to take affirmative action away from helping people get hired on these jobs. And once again, bro, a lot of these Asians, they have nothing to blame but themselves. They're gonna complain about getting scapegoated. I'm sorry, y'all about to get scapegoated, and you have nothing to blame for yourself because you guys are too busy trying to get that white adjacent card, trying to become white adjacent, chasing whiteness. Black folks have been trying to tell y'all how the status quo it is, but y'all over here didn't want to listen to us. Once again, y'all fell for the okie doke, and unfortunately, Asians, they have hundreds of years of always falling for the okie doke of Western presence, from all the way from colonization to the Korean War. There was a lot of anti-black propaganda that the so-called Mr. Clean gave to the so-called Koreans, and unfortunately, they gave the people in Vietnam, that propaganda as well. They fell for the okie doke. Not everybody, but some of them fell for the okie doke. You know, Muhammad Ali talking about ain't no Viet Cong ever call me a N-word, and the thing is, it's because you wasn't around him. He wasn't around them, because the black soldiers who fought down there said otherwise. They said that some of them Vietnamese people was calling them the N-word. And then some of those people saying that, hey, you start trouble. They was rejecting them from going to certain places because they assumed they start trouble and stuff like that. Like, they never even met black people before in their lives, and they saying all this. The N-word is not part of their language. Where they learned this from? Mr. Clean. They got it from Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean went down there, got to them first before the brothers got to him, and then he started selling a lot of anti-black propaganda, a lot of just Western propaganda. The belly of the beast. And then there's this whole thing about assimilating into whiteness, right? I say that black people and Asian people didn't really have that much issues with each other, especially like in the 60s and stuff like that during the civil rights. But analyzing history, it's like ever since they got that model minority status card, it's kind of like they distanced themselves from the black collective as a whole for the most part. And honestly, that could have always been the plan, to get that acceptance. If we got what we wanted, let's just do our own thing. Because that so-called modern minority status is somewhat of a white stamp card, somewhat of a white acceptance approval. And then if you analyze history even more, it's kind of like they've been chasing whiteness for since they immigrated into this country in the 1800s. At least a small amount of them immigrated here in the 1800s. It's kind of like they was trying to chase whiteness even then. I've heard from people that black man and the Chinese man was working on the railroads together. It was kind of like the Chinese man was in competition with the so-called black man to finish those railroads first. And then they was trying to get in these schools with the white folks, even back in the 1800s. They was trying so hard to get in there with them, even though they told the people, no colored people allowed here. So, well, you thought you was one of them? I ain't got nothing against Asians. I love Asian people. I love many aspects of their culture, but I gotta be honest about this. There's some type of acceptance. I can't even pronounce the word. Obsession. This obsession with so-called whiteness. I don't know, man. I don't know where this came from. And arguably, it was there even before Western interference. Y'all had this obsession Asepsis. I can't even pronounce the word again. Y'all was obsessed with whiteness, fair skin. It's ridiculous. It's really insane. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But ever since Western interference, it's just been blown out of proportion. But this doesn't represent all ages because some ages get it. They get the status quo. They understand what's really going on out here. They understand the real. Some Asians don't care. They still want to do whatever it takes to assimilate. And then there's the third, because there are many Asians that's playing both sides of the field. They're playing both sides of the fence, sitting on the fence, fit centers. They go to the other side and try to assimilate, and when things don't work out on the other side, when they get the Asian wake-up call, they want to come to our side or the side of righteousness and then pretend like they didn't double dip their toe on the other side when they realized the grass wasn't greener on the other side, if you know what I mean. And then y'all think that y'all getting discriminated against now because of this whole COVID thing? Oh, y'all just open up a can of worms with this whole thing when y'all want to go against affirmative action. It's going to affect a lot of people. And it turns out, you do the research, turns out that at least 21 to 25% of y'all get into these colleges because of affirmative action. A lot of y'all benefit from affirmative action more than black folks. And it turns out that even with the black folks that make the grades and stuff like that, they got higher grades and higher test scores than even white folks. They still get discriminated against getting inside these colleges. And I kind of analyze the pattern. It's kind of like some of these Asians think that it's only supposed to be whites and Asians inside these top colleges like Harvard and Yale, colleges like that. It's only supposed to be like white and Asian, and that's it. Think about it, white and Asian. You know how this sounds, right? It kind of sounds very white worshiping, thinking that you're supposed to be the only ones in these schools with them. No black people are supposed to be in here. It's just solely based on affirmative action. Like, ain't no intelligent black people here, or even Hispanics and other ethnic groups like Middle Easterners and stuff like that. People like that. You guys are playing yourselves. You played yourself. And here's the thing, man. Black folks, again, we've been trying to tell Asian people and a lot of these ethnic groups how it really goes down in this country, how the belly of the beast really works, the status quo. A lot of y'all think that cutting our throat is going to somehow allow you to get ahead in this country. Let me tell you something. It's been said a whole bunch of times by a whole lot of people, but you can play with the status quo if you want. But here's the thing about the status quo. They will play with you until they break you. You just another toy, just like everybody else. You nobody special. You in, but you not really in. You're invited to the cookout, but you're not really invited to the cookout. You're just there to be seen, not to be heard. once the status quo is done with you, they'll throw you away. Just like the rest of the toys they broke. That's how it always goes. That's just how it is in this country. It is what it is. They couldn't get rid of affirmative action with the white girl. And let's be honest, it's what it was always about. It was always about them folks trying to get rid of affirmative action. Because they was complaining. Now they use the Asian people to get rid of it. And they really don't care about you. They were just using you guys as a sword to get rid of affirmative action. And this is gonna blow back on some of their faces, and it's gonna blow back on your guys' faces as well, because people are gonna get mad. Yeah, people are going to get mad. And they're going to lash out, man. They're going to lash out at people. And I hope I'm wrong, but most likely I might be right. But y'all thought y'all was getting attacked now, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because when the heat goes, when shit hits the fan, people gonna get real mad, and then them folks, they're gonna throw you under the bus and leave you out to dry with the wolves. It's not my fault. It was the Asians. They the one who voted for this. They the one who did this. And now people gonna be looking at them. It's kind of like that SpongeBob episode when SpongeBob created Bubble Buddy. Yeah, people got tired of the shenanigans. And then they was gonna take their frustrations out on a random lifeguard, and Squidward was like, we're taking it out on the wrong person. It's that Bubble guy we need to be mad at. Squidward, he represent them folks. And then everybody getting mad and upset. They represent all different types of groups. Okay, this is going to affect blacks. Because we barely get any opportunities anyways, man. It's going to affect Hispanics, other ethnic groups. Even different subgroups like the alphabet. You can't get in a certain position because you're alphabet now, or even a female. Oh, you can't get in this situation, this position because you're a female. And people are going to get mad. And what you think is going to happen when people get mad? Something verbal is going to happen. Non-verbal is going to happen. It is what it is, man. And no one's going to feel sorry for you. And people are not going to care about that crime bill. It is what it is, because a lot of people are going to be on board. And don't expect black folks to come save the day, because black folks are not going to do that. Hey, y'all stabbed us in the back the past 2.5 years with that so-called Stop Asian Hate narratives, trying to blame us, trying to blame black people, trying to say that it's mainly black people out here contributing to your pain, when you know that was cap. That was cap. You ask the average black person, you ask them that, and they gonna be like, huh? What? Ain't no way. I took a handful of videos thinking that represented everybody as a whole, and then you ignored the other 100 videos out here of white folk and then any of these other ethnic groups out here getting into situations with Asians. Even other Asians get into situations with Asians. Y'all know that. But enough said, man. I'm out.